let's flip a coin. Head Carolina, tails California, somewhere greener, somewhere warmer.
Hello, it's Andy Graham of hoboontheroad.com. I'm in Athens, Greece, and I just went for a long walk, and they gave me a map big enough for two things, so I had to rip it down to the size that I could manage it. It was actually more of an advertisement on the back, so I ripped it down. But I went for a walk, and I was following the map, and the map I had English words in it along with it. And the streets here in Athens are really badly marked, and they're only on the side of buildings, and even the map's missing a lot of the small streets. So what I did is I kind of passed the street I was supposed to do, and I got on this MapMe website. This is a application. I think it's MapMe free, and the thing, all the names of the streets are in Greece. So the GPS did kick in and kind of show me where I was at, because I passed the street I was supposed to turn on. But generally, my rule of thumb is I walk straight away from where I'm at until I know where I'm at, and then I'm usually staying in a place 5 or 10 days, or at least a month or something like that. But here I'm only going to be 4 days, so I'm sort of shit out of luck, right? But the point I wanted to make is that some maps are in foreign languages, so you kind of always got to check the map, see which language it is. Make sure you have the battery. But the final point I want to make is I left the place with only €5 in my pocket, and no matter what I did, I didn't have enough money to pay for a taxi back to the hotel in case I got totally lost. And so you can't really just leave all the time with, you gotta have enough money for a taxi fare. And because the taxis at any given time will solve most of your problems in Europe, okay, or in a big city anywhere on the planet. Not to say that they're going to be fair about it, but they would get me back to where I'm going to do it. I would say this is kind of a dodgy city. I wouldn't say it's one of the most I do think it has some of the more beautiful girls on the planet, but as far as it's graffiti everywhere. It's kind of a beat up city so far. I'm going to go in and I'm going to try. I hurt my leg, and my knee's really hurting, and I can't really walk that well. So I'm going to try to see if I can pay for a tour, and maybe I can get a tour of the thing from like one of these double-decker buses like they have in England with the top open. That would make my, generally when you come to these really big cities, they're a Charlie Foxtrot. Really hard to say that they're fun. It's more or less you get to say that you've been to that city and you've been to that country. And for me, being that I've been to 100 countries, I just don't give a shit, right? So it's real tempting just to go into the hostel and sit down for 3 or 4 days and rest and let my knee repair, and leave the country and act like I was here, right? And I've done that in places, because it's just not the end of the world if I don't see Athens. But I would like to chunk this down to the top 2 or 3 things. And that's another problem with the tourism. They give you 100 different things to look at, and you got to spend all your time. And I only care about maybe the top 5 things in the whole city. And I really can't care more than just about the top 5, just because the planet's too big, and it's a nice place, but I generally don't have any need to know everything about the world. I just enjoy people. And I'm in a good neighborhood. I chose a good place because I'm around common people here. And on the other side is I chose a bad place because my knee is hurt and I can't walk out of it to the tourist area. The tourist area is about probably at least a 40-minute walk, I think. I'm in the really shitty hostel called the Pagration. Doesn't even have a name on the place. Pagration. It's €10 though, and it's much better than paying €20 to be closer, because I get to know who the Greek people are here, and up in the tourist area I wouldn't know who the Greek people were. I would just know who the tourists were. Okay, Andy Graham, hobo traveler in Athens, Greece.
Tonight, let's flip